going to be a little bit cooler than normal. So not really sure what to think. I think the biggest thing that we've all learned and we keep talking about is just qualifying really well, keep track.
What about turn 2? Did you watch a truck race last night? You see all the accidents in turn 2
with getting too wide in the compound. I think there's definitely a line, right? Last year they didn't put resin down, and higher you get, sometimes there's still a little bit of it left, but when you end up in the part where there's not enough grip for the expectations you have going into that corner, that's when it becomes a problem.
Do you have any suggestions to SMI or NASCAR how to fix that, or is that something that you'll just have to deal with?
Same for everybody. So I think, I think you just, I don't know how long it would take for the bottom to really wear out to where you start moving up, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon.
Preece, the headlines had Stewart-Haas Racing looking at selling two chargers potentially after this year. What's your reaction to that news?
I don't really follow news, so I get hired to drive the race cars. That's all I have.
All right, thank you.
The past couple of years,
I think just throttle time and getting the car to rapid off the two. We've done a lot of simulation in the simulator this week, and spent a lot of time looking at SMT. And I wasn't here for this race last year, so in the past we've got the grip strip on the top lane, or the second lane that you run through once it become a little more dominant throughout the day. Now they haven't done that in the last 2 years, so it did come in a little bit last year, probably the second half of the race. This year, we'll see how it works, but I assume practice will be right around the bottom, both sides, and then 1 and 2 in the race will be going there later in the day.
Were you able to watch the truck race last night? How do you guys prevent that from happening? Because it seemed like they were wrecking a lot in turn 2 because of all that resin up there. Can you learn from that and prevent that from happening on Sunday?
I think so. I think you're just trying to stay disciplined and stay married to the inside line, the white line. So I don't really know if there's what the rhyme or reason was for those guys wrecking and getting up out of the groove. So I talked to Sheldon Creed at dinner last night, and he said it was pretty sketchy. He barely got off the line a little bit, center exit. He's going to be up and stuff, and it just takes off on you. So I haven't been on the track today. I'm not really sure what it's going to be like. It could be like that, and you just have to maybe go 90% through there.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
In the headlines earlier this week, Stewart-Haas Racing it was said that Stewart-Haas Racing might be selling 2 charters. From a driver's standpoint, what is your thoughts on that and your reactions to that?
Well, I haven't heard anything internally, so until I hear internally any news, there's nothing really to get opinionated about. All I know is I can control what I can control, and that's my attitude and my effort. And just trying to go out.
I think it's been pretty good.
You have a lot of experience in stock car racing, but what is the Cup Series been like? What is that biggest change? What is the biggest factor that you've seen compared to all the different series that you've run before?
I mean, it's just super competitive, right? It's just hard. I think that's the best way to put it. These guys are the best of the best, and the teams are the best of the best. Big crews from top to bottom. The amount of depth in the field is high level. So it's just hard.
And then for Texas, I guess, what are you expecting? How are you preparing? It seems to be a bit unique of a 1.5 mile with the grooves and the lanes and all that stuff. So how do you prepare for a race like this?
Yeah, I think that the intermediates, there's some area for us to continue to improve. So I'm not saying that we're gonna just take it as it comes and see how we go, but we definitely feel like there's room for us to improve at the intermediates. So we just have to see how we run this weekend, right, and make the best of it.
It's going to be different temperature, obviously. Last time you were here, it was 100 degrees, like record-breaking heat. What the difference in temperature with it being much windier, but also much cooler? What's the effect you expect on the car?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's been. Yeah, hopefully it makes for a little bit better race. I mean, pretty much every time I've been here, it's been crazy hot, like you said. So hopefully that makes for a little bit better race. I thought we saw a really good race last night. The grooves were pretty even, so maybe that'll trend in the weekend.
It was in the headlines that that Stewart-Haas Racing was also looking into selling 2 of its charts potentially. Is there any reaction to that, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I know as much as you, and I read the stuff on the internet too. So other than that, there's been no communication internally of anything going on. So we're just going to keep trying to race and do the best we can.
Racing, so I still prefer without the wing. The wing deal is just such a challenge for me, at least, just with how different it is from non-wing sprint car racing, and I just feel like everything I know about sprint cars is totally different when you throw the wing on it. So just how you drive it and everything's totally different. Just trying to get used to the speed and just the mentality of driving it in to the corner harder, just to make the wing work better. It's all opposite in non-wing. So I do enjoy the wing stuff, especially when it's really slick and you're moving around. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, it's just been something to. Honestly, it helps me on the cup side. We're running slower over there, but it feels like you're running 900 miles an hour. At least it does to me. So I feel like it makes the cup car feel a little bit more slow motion, which this has made things easier.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
You thought Phoenix was better. Bristol, you had fun. What were your thoughts on Martinsville and the racing there, given that there seemed to be a lot of frustration still?
Yeah, I would say Martinsville was honestly about the same. Like, couldn't really tell any difference. If anything, I thought it was maybe a touch worse for whatever reason. Yeah, I mean, it was maybe 5% different even. That'd be a stretch, I'd say.
Is it kind of frustrating knowing that this is kind of an issue for, since 2022 and it's still kind of at square one 2 years later?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I think at least now, though, we have a big enough sample size, right? Like when it's only 2 races or something, it's sometimes hard to make a change, where I think now, like, we can definitely say that there's a problem and we need to fix this. So I think everybody's kind of on board with, we got to do something, right? Like, if we keep doing the same thing, then we're just going to look ridiculous. So, yeah, I definitely think that we're to the point now where they're not going to be afraid to make big changes, and hopefully we can make those big changes.
Okay. And with SHR, your deal runs through 2026, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's obviously been the recent news that SHR may be looking to, sell charters, maybe downsize. I guess it sounds like you'll be a part of their future, even if that happens. But
yeah, I mean, obviously there's a ton of moving pieces, right? Like, this is an option year for them to pick me back up anyways to go to 26. So, yeah, there's just a lot of moving pieces in general, and that's why I just got to go out there and run the best I can every week and try to, prove my worth to them. And, just we're winning races. It'll all play itself out.
All right, thank you.
Amen.
Drivers, you can win a chance at $25,000. Get your own digital collectible trading cards at racefacedigital.com in Standard, Premier, and Elite variations. It's free driver enrollment. Use the displayed promo code to win a chance to crack the vault for $25,000. But hurry, this is limited to only the first 100 drivers. Enroll at racefacedigital.com/drivers now.
This is Harrison Burton, driver the number 21. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, check out one of these 2 videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.